that we have around the country. In this particular case, what resulted in the water shortages in the area?
Morning, Sis Mabi, and morning to your viewers. And thank you very much for affording us the opportunity to explain the issues that are concerning the municipality Ngwathe and Parys and Tumahole in particular. Number one, there are just simple issues of incompetency by some of the officials that are supposed to be responsible for the maintenance of reservoirs. Number two, there have been incomplete projects in relation to the water plant. But number three has been the cleanliness of the water pipes that are pumping pipe to the households in that community. And the other things are issues of where community members are involved in trying to cut water. I don't know for the reasons that are not yet being received by my office. But what we've been doing since Saturday, when this matter was given to our attention, I visited the water plant. I can tell you, Sisma, without any shame, that water plant was just a crime scene. Number two is that there has to be other people who must account on the work that has been done that has not yet been completed. And yesterday, I then went in now to meet officially with the mayor, the ESCO, and the technical people. We've also seek assistance from the Department of Water Affairs and the officials from COCTA at the provincial level. So I will in detail explain later. Thank you very much.
All right, MEC, I just want to find out, in terms of your database of suppliers, you were talking about incompetence and also general corruption when it comes to the value chain of water supply. You must know at least who are these service providers and to hold them accountable as well. At this stage, are you aware of who it is that should be wrapped around the knuckles for this?
Thank you very much, Sis Mabe. The information is before my table. I have got names of the service providers, and I also have names of the officials that have been alleged to have been collaborated in corruption in that instance. But the thing that I'm not going to do now is to mention them, because we have set up a motion where we are going to ensure that there are internal intensive investigations in relation to this, because it is so shaming that you wake up and there's no water, yet another person has been paid in the value of 10 million that they have completed the filters. But on my arrival yesterday, the filters were still not working. So these are some of the issues that I've said the municipality must really take them up. It's also unashamed that you have officials who don't report these things when they happen. But instead, they've been collaborating in paying the service providers for the services that was not being done. So this is some of the problems, but we've came up with control measures. I've instructed the officials from my department and requested the municipality together with the national officials that they must work around the 24-hour turnaround strategy to ensure that our people get clean, drinkable water from their pipelines. But there are those areas in that area that they can't.
All right, MEC, your line is a little bit scratchy, but we hope to still have you with us, just to explain, especially to give comfort to residents that something is being done. Water in itself is a basic human right. Water gives dignity. There's all these campaigns that are running around. In the meantime, you know, we have issues of corruption that is preventing service delivery. It's a little comfort to residents if you say you can't name and shame because of the right of privacy, but you know, obviously there needs to be some investigation going on that would lead to some, at least, not impunity, you know. So MEC, I believe you're with us. Your line is not so great.
Yes, I think I'm back, Smart. Let me respond to your question. I'm not saying I can't name and shame. I'm saying we've put the investigation into a process. So I wouldn't want to name them now, but we've got those names. We're going to name and shame them once the investigations has been done. The problem is that if we name now, we are going to interrupt with the investigation. So we don't want to do that. We don't want to assist these people to get out of the corner where they are right now. I can tell you that as I've made this a conclusion, that the water plant in Ngwathe municipality, particularly in Parys, was a crime scene. This one I'm definitely sure about. I asked the colleagues from my department. They said in the last financial year, they've given out 22 million. That was supposed to assist them to refurbish the filters. When we arrived yesterday, I asked them how much has been spent so far and are filters working? They said to me 12 million has been spent, but filters were not working. So we're only remaining with 10 million. Then I asked the question, who are these people that have been paying the service providers and who are service providers? And names were given to me. Then I then said, okay, this is a call for investigation. So they are going to be named and shamed once we have done with the investigations. That we are not going to hide. And even the officials involved, and even if there are councillors and other prominent people, will still come back and name and shame them.
All right, with the demonstrations, there is often disruption, not only for commuters, but motorists as well. Are we aware what the impact of the unrest will be? Or what's anticipated?
The impact is very negative. The impact is very negative. I appealed yesterday. We actually addressed some members of the communities who were protesting. I appealed to them that they should allow the following temporary measures. Number one, they must allow some bypasses in areas where they are receiving water so that we can then send water to the areas that they don't get water, so that we allow schools to reopen and we allow business to function. But the critical question that community members were asking me was, where will these children wash themselves to go to school to? So that is why we have then put a 24-hour strategy. I think at around 2 o'clock, I will be receiving a preliminary report from the executive mayor and the team that we have left in Parys to ensure that there's water that comes out to areas where they need water as a temporary measure. So I've appealed to community members that there shouldn't be any disruption of schools. There should also not be any disruption in relation to business, because we can't correct one wrong with other wrongs. We are not going to correct the situation.
MEC, thank you so much for your time. Indeed, this morning we're speaking to MEC of Kokta, Ketso Makume, speaking about the residents in Parys in the Free State embarking on a protest march in the area due to water shortages. Back to you, Gareth.